learned on Wednesday another team working on a third-person Star Wars game is the Titanfall developer Respawn. Reiner, you seem to have a lot of opinions about this.
More Star Wars equals Reiner being happier. So, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, EA is completely in, and that's what we wanted, when Battlefront came out, and then there was just kind of, what's next? There's nothing. There's all these movies coming out, and there's nothing tied to these movies.
That's fine.
History's
shown that doesn't work usually. I like it when they do their own thing.
Don't do the movie game, but do your own thing in the new universe.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay. Would you expect?
You don't have to have Finn or Rey or Poe. Do some other characters in that timeline.
Would you expect that, like, even with Star Wars stories jumping around the timeline so much in the film world, did you expect the 2 third-person games to be set in that Force Awakens new trilogy timeline?
No, that's kind of crazy. But I wonder when they're coming out. Obviously, everybody's like, "Oh man, it's Visceral's in trouble because Respawn's doing one." It's like, well, you're probably gonna play one year, and then another maybe 2 years later, there might be like Battlefront 2 before that. Who knows?
I'm confused about the timeline because we've heard about, was it Stig? What's his last name?
Edmondson.
There we go. So he was the lead on God of War 3, and he's been over at Respawn for a little while. Now we find out he's working on the Star Wars game, but they said in a blog post on Wednesday that it was still a relatively small team and they're hiring. It's probably the reason they did this announcement.
That's why they did the announcement completely.
Do you think he was working on this game the whole time?
No.
So something else got lost along the way, and now it's like, hey, Star Wars, who can say no to that?
I don't think necessarily something was lost. So, like these deals come together in their own ways, and they go through a lot of meetings. Disney's great at meetings.
Oh, man.
You have to get screenshots approved.
Yeah.
By like 14 committees. So I think it's pretty natural evolution.
So
we have DICE working on Battlefront. You'd assume there would be more Battlefront, like Battlefront 2 or something at some point. We got Visceral, Amy Hennig's team, working on something. We believe it's, from the way they've teased, it's Han Solo or something.
That's your theory about it.
There's a Millennium Falcon all over the place.
Yeah,
that's
and
the one I'm excited
Boba
for
Fett
sure.
and Han Solo.
Yeah.
I put a story up of their tweets about it. It's a look into their office too. It looks like that's
how
what
much
they're
would you
doing.
bet that it's a Han Solo game?
A lunch.
I'm
not rich, man.
Wimp. That's not true. I've seen your house, the fanciest house in Minnesota.
And then we have Respawn working on who knows what, and then BioWare also still doing Knights, and maybe they'll do other stuff too. I mean, that's a lot of.
That'd be kind of cool.
We'll probably get 3 more Lego Star Wars games.
Yeah, and then other
stop,
outside companies doing stuff like.
That's
They're
not
all
EA,
in, and that's a good thing. So I don't know how anybody could be disappointed in that. We're still getting Titanfall. They're building second teams for a lot of this stuff. Visceral's not doing another Battlefield cop game. That's a great thing.
We don't know that yet.
Oh, that's true.
Hardline
boy.
2,
Please
baby.
don't.
Hold on.
I agree.
Bertz, I'm curious, since you're at Respawn, and I was there too, back for the Titanfall 1 cover story, you kind of hinted at it. I want to get your take on, the studio head, Vince Impala, going from the Call of Duty controversy and that whole saga to now dealing with one of the trickiest IPs in the world, Star Wars.
The suits that are just going to shoot down everything right and left.
How is that going to work?
I don't know. I mean, maybe Vince is a pit bull and he'll fight for what he believes in, but, maybe his dynamic changes when he's working on a license. Call of Duty was his.
I see. So it's just overly protective, but just the idea of getting to work on Star Wars, like, okay, I'll bend a little bit for the
maybe. I mean, you don't have a choice. Ask J.J. Abrams. It sounds like they bend you to their will. They're the Sith.
Ow.
I would totally be up for like another Rogue Squadron style or even X-Wing.
Oh, you
like
X-Wing?
shooter? Like,
X-Wing would be the best.
do you think there's any chance that could be what Respawn's working on? That kind
No,
of
they
already
said
said
it was a
it's
third person.
Third-person action adventure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I guess
if you're listening.
They didn't
somebody
say
else
that
should
it
work
wasn't
on
in a
that.
ship. Remember when they made that free-to-play X-Wing Star Wars game? Like, they announced it maybe 2 years ago, and then they just quietly canceled it. Do you remember this?
Who was working on that?
I don't know who the hell it was, but they're making a free-to-play space combat
that's
game.
right.
You remember that weird thing?
Yeah, they even had trailers and all that stuff up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
And
it didn't
just
look
disappeared.
great.
It launched and disappeared, I think.
Yeah. But they really, I know VR isn't lighting up the sales charts or the attention charts, but if it seems like Lucas is vaguely interested in VR stuff. They made a couple VR experiences. Battlefront VR is coming to PlayStation VR. They should just make a new VR X-Wing game, right? It's right there.
Oh, I would love it.
Yeah, or just do a new
re-
X-Wing game without VR and let me play it however I want.
Just
Both
remake
ways.
it with new graphics. It was such a great game.
Yeah, yeah.
The mission pacing, the challenges.
Yeah.
Add multiplayer, and we're there.